for Big D Energy, live on Woodward Sports. Join four-time Stanley Cup champion and legendary badass Darren McCarty and the golden voice of Neil Rule, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., as they give their takes on all things Detroit sports. The number one midday show in Detroit is on. Welcome to Big D Energy.
Yo, 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 what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Big D Energy.
Big D, let's go.
Thursday, right?
Thirsty Thursday. Thirst Trap Thursday. Spenny, what are you working on today?
Thirst Trap Thursday. Spenny, it's every day's Thirst Trap Thursday
well, there
for
it is,
Spenny,
whatever
right?
it is.
Yeah,
tonight a Coonan's night, Spenny?
No, just tonight's back day.
All right,
It is back day.
Like back to Coonan's?
No, back to the back.
No, y'all don't even know. I saw the show before the show. My boy Spinny out here. I'll just say that. Just know I peep game, bro. I peep game.
Dude, Spenny, by the way, unbelievable sick jersey on display. Your jersey is sick today.
Thank you.
Mellow.
Thank
Syracuse.
you. Yeah, I got the Mellow Syracuse jersey on today. Felt like busting it out. Haven't worn it in a while, so
I like that orange.
Thank you.
For those that don't know, Carmelo is Spenny's guy.
He is.
So
I don't think that's a bad thing
I have
either.
3 different Carmelo jerseys.
People really don't respect like what Melo really was. Like I get it towards the end of his career and not winning, but early in them days, them first 3 to 4 years, Melo was like literally at LeBron's level. He was giving LeBron problems.
Yeah, I mean, he was the Barkley.
Yeah.
He was the Barkley of that generation.
He just never realized his potential. But yeah.
There you go. Like, it just, he was good, so obviously it did, and we get like, we overlook it because he was so good. But there was that perception out there that he wasn't going to die to win.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that was it. But no, jump into that Woodward Sports chat thread, by the way. Subscribe to the Woodward Sports YouTube channel and get in there, get your thoughts out there. KP in the chat, Big Tone Energy.
Pretty much.
Of course. Run the ball. Lions discussion today.
No, probably not. We probably won't talk about the Lions at all for 2 hours today.
No, not again. Not till September.
Yep.
Makes sense.
Lions are gone forever. We're obviously going to talk about the Lions.
Because there's stuff to talk about. Tammy Chin, good morning, Big D family. Morning, Neil Darren.
Good morning.
Spencer KG. Good morning,
Morning,
Tammy. Good to
Tammy.
have you with us. FJ1967. Good morning, BDE and chat. But no, yeah, we are definitely going to get into all of it. You notice how the baseball thing's sneaking in, D-Mac? You notice it?
We had a big segment this morning on the morning show about it. We get
What baseball thing?
Just
I mean,
the
I know
baseball
you signed
discussion.
that reliever
The
to a
off
1-year
season.
deal, yes,
Yeah.
and I like the guy.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but that's not the splash we're looking for. Is the frustration you saying is starting to boil over?
And I told you guys I would. You see it in my eyes, don't you?
I do.
I told you guys I was gonna
Wait,
let it.
can we wait
let it
till
run.
can we wait till next week? Or you got to
It's
do it
getting
now?
tougher and tougher.
It's
It's
Why-
getting
why don't
tougher and
you-
tougher.
Give him a little bit.
Okay. Here's the thing. People came out. Everyone was like, over the Scott Harris quote, we're not done. Scott, I would ask you, when did you start? You say we're not done. Don't you got to start something to be finishing up with it? When did it start?
But Neil, Gleyber Torres.
Gleyber, I know. Gleyber Torres. Alex Cobb.
That's where it started, Alex Cobb.
When did it start, Scott? Like, for real. And look, I've tried to walk this line a lot. And D-Mac, I'll keep it consistent. I'll always stay this way. I keep Harris separate from ownership. I do.
You should.
All he can do is what he's allowed to do, right? And nobody's come out and talked about it publicly, so we don't really know this, but we suspect that there's maybe some orders, right? Or
Marching
guidelines,
orders,
or guardrails, or a budget, whatever you want to call it.
Or shackles on the man.
Fair.
He's shackled.
I like to
Whatever
say
word you
handcuffed.
want to use, that's the
Yes,
word you
I like
use.
shackled.
Yeah.
But I will stay consistent with it, and I will keep Scott Harris separate because what I have to give him credit for is we've seen development of young talent. We've seen them get in the playoffs. And look, I'm a big A.J. Hinch. I think A.J. Hinch is the key to it all. I do, because it's on field and we saw it. And A.J. Hinch is a hell of a chef and could make you a hell of a meal on some, regular Walmart ingredients.
Yep.
He can do it. But with that being said, man, like, I thought the operation mode was going to be when the time's right, we'll spend.
That's what they told
Well, the
us.
time is right, but we ain't spending.
Is this all on because you haven't spent or because you haven't locked down Bregman? Because
No, D-Mac,
Like-
here's what it is for me. It's the principle of it all. It's like Smokey. It's about principalities.
Yeah.
It's the principle of it all, D-Mac. You told me that. When it was time to spend, we'd spend. Well, it's time to spend, and we ain't spending. They haven't taken care of Scooble.
Yeah.
Like,
so to me, right there, that's the biggest elephant in the room.
it's all of
That's
it, D-Mac.
the biggest elephant in the room of what are you going to do
Yeah.
with the best, all-around pitcher in the game?
I view that as that's the least they could do at this point. If you're not going to extend Scooble right now, then where is that money going?
And KG, it's not
the
even
point.
that. It's not even that. If the money matters that much, then do money matters moves.
yeah.
Lock Riley Green up. Do the Acuna deal like I always talked about.
Yep.
Get Scooble done as quickly as possible because every minute that goes by, the price goes up. And if the price is important to you, which it seems like it is, then why aren't you reacting accordingly?
Yeah, sooner rather than later.
Why are we just hurtling towards space here? I don't get it, man.
And there does seem to be the tale of two camps. Like me and Sam was trying to flesh this out this morning. There is still the camp of people that believed because of what they did last year and the Moneyball philosophy that you can win that way. And not saying that you can't win that way, but can you really get far doing that method is yet to be seen. And then there's the camp like us that spend some damn money. And it doesn't necessarily have to be Alex Bregman, but I just feel like this offseason is empty and you need a little bit more than what we've been provided so far.
No, and that's it. That's it exactly. And D-Mac, I'm not pounding the table for Bregman per se. I'm not necessarily.
I am.
The idea of the principle of Bregman, though.
Principalities.
The principalities, Smokey. That's where I am, though, D-Mac. I just either do it this way or do it that way, but do something. That's it. Do
Right,
something.
because your message isn't following what you're telling me.
Because you've got a legit superstar in this division now.
Yeah.
Like, Bobby Witt is a legitimate top 3 player in baseball.
Correct.
So you're going to have to load up to go against a guy like that. The Royals are going to be good.
I tell you, the Indians still around.
Yeah, like you're going to have to
They got
add
a superstar hitter,
Yep.
and he's there on a discount.
Yeah, he's a top 7 player in the MLB. Like, you're going to have to go out there and get some pieces. It's an arms race, and this division is still, even with Bobby Witt and with Jose Ramirez, this division is for the taking. You just need to get a bat, a power right-handed bat that possibly plays third base, too. That would fill 3 needs on this team.
And is it bad for me as a Tigers fan to say, okay, if they're good enough to make a wild card this year outright, I don't feel like that's necessarily good enough. Am I wrong as a fan to say that?
KG, because what have we talked about this whole time? Like with the Lions thing. The last year run by the Lions, not this year, the last year run by the Lions
2023.
was the organic, okay, we're here. I don't want to say a free roll, but
Right.
at the same time, because it ceases being a free roll when you're up 17 at halftime of the NFC Championship game. Then it becomes like real. But at the same time, the Pistons look like they're going to go on that move right now.
Yeah.
Where, hey, man, whatever happens this year. We like it. We like the advancement, all of it. That was last year for the Tigers. I said that during the move, remember? I was like, hey, man, I'm in. I thought they were dead and gone.
We all did.
We all did. I thought they were dead and gone. They weren't. This is fun. Okay. And that, D-Mac, those were my last words when the season ended and we sat there and we talked about it. I said, okay. We're real now, right? Like, obviously we're real. We're a game from the ALCS. We're real now. So go be real. And that's where they're getting off the highway, and I don't like it, D-Mac.
You always look at it and go, is this roster better than the roster that you had at the end of the year? Can you compete more? Because what did you just tell me? Even though this division that we think is up for grabs, all the rest of the teams in this division are getting better. Right? They have legitimate stars that are developing. Where's you have a couple bright spots and a couple spots that you're hoping, that progresses, but really you haven't showed anything, right? Would you like show me? And still, so there's lingering things, not signing or going out and spending money to improve in whatever aspect. You got the Scooble contract that's sort of sitting in the way. Then you got Javi Baez that the longer it goes, the more he's going to, that $25 million or whatever is going to be on.
Like, how do you not address that?
So how do you look me in the eyes and say, like, you're serious or that you're better? You expect progress every year from what they've done and capitalize on it. And I think that, you know, whatever Killer KG said, that money ball, that Oakland A's, that Billy Bean, doing it on the cheap, that just, it doesn't cut it for us as fans. On it.
Yeah, and you know what, D-Mac? Again, if that's the route they want to go, I can't kill them.
But tell me you're going.
But tell me you're doing. Yeah, don't bullshit me.
It's I saw Sandy in the chat. Hello, Sandy said, I don't know to be happy, sad, or confused. Well, right.
Exactly. That's the problem.
It is confusing when it comes to the Tigers. It is confusing because what they're telling us and what the manager's telling us isn't what they're showing us.
Right. And even if you want to do the money ball route, you can still spend a little bit of money to help protect your young
You can be
talent.
league average.
Yeah, exactly. That's all we're asking for. And like I said, the wild card, it would be nice if they made that. I need them to be in the playoffs, but I expect them to be competing for the division. And in order to do that, you have to be better than the Indians. And at this point, I don't think we're better than the Indians. I don't.
No, because
as presently constructed, I don't.
Because we weren't last year.
Exactly.
In the end, we weren't.
Everybody thought we would win the division last year, and surprised, the AL Central is way better than we thought it was.
No, and look, we weren't. I mean, bottom line, we weren't. And what have we done to? And look, the Guardians haven't done anything to improve either because they don't do anything. Mm-hmm. But have we? Mm-hmm. What have we done to be better?
Do we have a top 10 player in the MLB?
No,
we don't.
Besides Scuba, no.
Yeah, top 10 position player.
No, we don't.
No, we don't.
Woodward Sports chat thread. A lot of thoughts on this one as well. Cody Engel. The problem isn't Harris; it's the fan base. They fell for the fool's gold end of season run, assuming spending was going to be big money spending. And Cody, to kind of hedge myself on that one, I never said be Mike Ilitch top 5 payroll in baseball, $205 million payroll.
Just pay somebody.
Get league average. We're the 14th biggest media market.
Right.
Be the 16th highest payroll.
Yeah. Take a chance. How about that?
And if you're impacted by the Javi Baez thing, then just say that. And you don't have to say it that way. You can say it like we have a large amount of resources in certain avenues right now. We feel like we're not getting the return on.
I'm over that too.
It's impacted. It's impacted spending.
You paying them anyway in a no salary cap league, and I know it's not my money, but it's like, bro.
And D-Mac, that's what it's become to me. This is beyond like Javi's the worst everyday player in the history of baseball, which he is.
Hey, Skydog, give your head a fucking shake, bro. What the fuck are you talking about? Stop sucking up to Chris. I just told you that the fucking you got lied to. Flat out sat here and lied to us. That's why we're confused to whatever else. I'm not fucking sticking up for him. Yeah. Tammy nails it down. Is that the things that the Little Caesars and the Illiches are concerned of is seeding. Hers losing hers and putting more money and everything else to whatever. So their priorities are not in whack. My biggest thing is like, how do you not pay Scooble? That's the biggest thing. You're not going to have Scooble and you're going to keep Baez on the contract, not signing anybody. Like, I don't give a shit. I'm a fan, but I got apathy. I'll run it right back into the tank again.
He will, y'all.
He will shut it off.
So give your head
He'll
a shake.
cut that water off.
Ain't sticking up for anybody. It's the fact that look at the difference in what's coming out of Allen Park and out of like downtown Detroit, right? When Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes say something, you know what? I believe it 100% because they told me and then they act upon it. What's going on down here, at least with the Tigers, and we can separate the Tigers, I think, from the Red Wings a little bit right now because Steve Yzerman made a move, got the right guy in there. They're playing the right way.
And it's a capped league.
In a capped league, whatever. That's the frustrating thing, too, Neil. And you're the cap money guy and stuff like this in a league where you could spend as much money, and we're watching the Dodgers just spend. Are they at $1 billion yet?
They're like Spenny at Coonan on a thirsty Thursday.
Hey, no, that's on a Friday after the bonuses came in, baby. But no, like that's like the whole fact is it's unacceptable.
Woodward Sports chat thread, Real Cream of Wheat. I'm wondering if they even want to re-sign Scooble. And Real Cream of Wheat, I talked about this before. If you don't want to go that route either, then I'm cool with it. For real. Mm-hmm. I am, but act accordingly.
Yeah.
Because if you're not going to sign him, every second you keep him, he loses value. He just does, guys. Like, that's the reality that we live in. Steve Wildes, you need to get in reality, Neil. Set your expectations low. Skubal is gone. Then move him.
Right.
Then move him. Rando Smalls. Guys, we have to be more like Tampa Bay than the Dodgers and the Mets. And Rando, again, if that's the route they want to go, then okay. Okay. Like, I tell everybody, I go to South Florida a lot, so I go to Marlins games when I have a day off down there. They never once lied to anybody and said, when the time's right, we'll spend. Mm-hmm. No, they've never said that. At least I go down there and have a Cuban sandwich.
Isn't it more like when the time's right, we're going to ship them out?
Right.
Right? Like, at least be honest. That's all the point of this conversation is we're not getting transparency.
Yeah, if we want to be the guardians of the early 2000s, like that just shipped all their good players to the Yankees after they got a couple years from them, then start doing it. Yeah. And tell the team you're going to do that.
Right.
If you're going to be the farm team for somebody else, then start doing it. Right. If you're not going to do that, extend Skubal, sign Bregman, like do something. If not, go full and trade Skubal. If you're not going to sign him, you got to trade him.
And stop relying on players like Torque that's not working out. Yeah. Stop putting Javi Baez out there as an everyday fucking shortstop. Like
worst everyday player in Major League Baseball history. But hey, he's my shortstop.
You got to pay him whether he's on the field or at home.
He's my shortstop. Football's big games right around the corner. Everyone, make sure you're ready to get the most out of your favorite sports with the best sports book made in Michigan for Michigan. Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. That is correct. Fund your account online with cash. You don't need to link up a credit card or a bank account or any of that stuff. You can get a 100% deposit match up to $1,000. And they'll give you 50 free spins on the casino app as well for good measure. Visit playeagle.com and download the Eagle Casino and Sports Betting app today. Look for Eagle Casino and Sports for Android and Apple. Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
WoodwardSports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. WoodwardSports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at WoodwardSports.com. A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man-meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights. Live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports welcomes the Winter Blast presented by Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort tomorrow. Yes, Friday, January 31st, all through the weekend in downtown Royal Oak. Ermanni and Edwards with Maz show will be down there from 2 to 4 this Friday. That's tomorrow. Don't miss cool events, including free ice skating, spectacular ice sculptures, live music in heated tents, marshmallow roasting, food trucks galore, and thrills. Yes, thrills from a 300-foot zip line. What else could you want? Oh, best of all, absolutely free. So, for more information, hit up winterblast.com today.
All right, everybody. So, again, the Tiger stuff's festering. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on it. I will read a couple of the texts that we have. Shane Daniel, eat a Cuban sandwich while chilling in that pool in the outfield. Shane, they took the pool out there. It's a nightclub there.
Oh, wow.
Fountain Blue has a nightclub there in center field. It's got a DJ and everything.
Well,
it's pretty dope.
I
like the pool better.
Yeah,
but
their
that's
stadium
dope.
looks sweet.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Not in the best neighborhood, but it is a
That makes it even better.
Yeah, it is pretty good.
It's like the Coney.
Yes. Also, Woodward Sports chat thread. Kyle Ramos, quote, as a Latino, let me grab my glove, cuz.
Give a shot.
Hey,
Right, shout out.
you probably aren't going to be worse than Javi.
No, that's a fact.
He's the worst everyday player in the history of the game.
Shout out, man.
How come no one talks about that? Why am I the only one that talks about that in the media?
I don't know.
And I don't like to pile on the guy, but the facts are the facts. It's 3 years of data.
Yes, absolutely. Kyle Ramos, my Detroit soccer team is on the rise. Wait till our stadium's done over in the southwestern side. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun,
Shout
Kyle.
out DCFC.
No doubt about it. Yep,
Still
no doubt
hurt
about
about
it.
the way that ended, man.
Yeah, well, all things end badly, or else they don't end. Okay, Spenny, you had it laid out here, and this was the vibe that I got from social media. Last night, the Pistons-Pacers game. I was, locked into that one.
It's a little rivalry.
Yeah, I was. I was locked in. I wanted to see it.
They do not like each other.
They do not like each other. I always knew the Pistons were going to be up against it. And, all right, so the game, D-Mac, the game. I kind of figured that fifth road game, fifth straight road game, you can speak to this intimately. I saw a lot of fifth straight road game stuff from the Pistons. Shots were short. They turned the ball over, easily sometimes. They look like a team that had been on the road for 5 straight games. But obviously the storyline's going to be the Isaiah Stewart stuff and what happened. And D-Mac, I saw social media go full heel turn on Isaiah Stewart.
That's crazy.
And I couldn't figure it. Yeah. They're like, oh, you can't do that.
Yep.
You can't give into emotion.
Yep.
All of that. And D-Mac, I was stunned.
Can I ask this?
Yes.
And even before, because I think that there's levels to this, right? As a fan, right, when you're watching the game and the immediate that it happened, but then when you hear after comments from the coach.
I got the comments.
Right? We're listening to this. So I'm not going to, anybody's fan base watching it, invested into it when you got to win the game, right? And we're going to, equate this to a rivalry. Biggest rivalry for us was Colorado, right? We always say no matter all the other stuff happens, when it came down to it, we had to win. But listen to this interview because I can understand the people being upset. You can't do that until you hear from the coach after the game. There's more to it, guys.
It's from Cody Davis.
Yep.
Seem like they just...
Well, here's what I'll say to that, and I'll leave it at this, right? There's things that happen on the basketball court that you have to deal with. Then there's certain things that are said to you that are no longer about basketball. And when it crosses that line like it did tonight, you should be able to stand up for yourself, right? And I'll let, you guys do whatever fishing you want to do. But there was things said tonight that absolutely crossed the line past basketball to man-on-man stuff. And if someone says something like that to you that crosses the line, you should have every single right to do what you need to do to defend yourself. Thank you.
And D-Mac, I get what you're saying there. As a player, you like that.
No, right there.
From JB Bickerstaff.
In this instance where I'm looking at it and it's a February game into whatever else, and you go by what the coach, right? Because obviously there was stuff said that was, red flag to whatever else personal on the court, that he's backing his player, right? And not making it a selfish thing or saying whatever else. So this is deeper than that, and this digs deeper. Now, there's a level to this, right? Now, what's Isaiah Stewart, if this is what we're saying, how are we going to deal with this if it happens again? How it doesn't affect the team. So that's the learning curve in it and stuff like that. But obviously, it looks like he got out of there from the blasphemy that was said to him as a man, right? I have no problem with it because time and a place. Now, in saying that, right, to put the team in front of yourself when it comes to the most, if this is a playoff game, if this is stuff like this, this is when you have to learn that you're going to have to deal with it and accept it this way, because in the bigger scheme of things, it fuels the rivalry, right? So I have no problem, right? I would have loved to win the game, but this is deeper than that, and there's bigger issues, and this also shows to me coach has got their back. Coach understands. Coach has their back, because he'd be probably, and this is JB Bicker. He's not smoking mirrors. Like, something was done.
Yeah.
I'd be interested to, Kool-Aid or somebody else finds out exactly what went down, because I think all of us and the people that were outraged at the time, right, would understand. So my whole point is, what happens the next time?
Now, for me, D-Mac, and this is going to go in the face of everything that I'm seeing in the chat and everything I saw on social media. time and space, right? Spots.
Absolutely.
Pistons were in a tough spot last night. Into the road trip, as I said. Pacers made, what, 23s?
Yeah,
19
50%
threes?
from 3, the Pacers were.
On volume?
Yeah, come on, dog.
What I did like about it, after it happened, they came back from a 16-point deficit, cut it down to 4 3 times.
Yeah.
3 consecutive times they did it. I like that angle of it. They were pissed.
Yeah.
And D-Mac, I'm telling you, man, I saw more out of that last night. And maybe I'm overdoing this. I don't know.
No.
But just as a fan, somebody that's around it, how that team responded to that let you know a lot about the fabric of the team. And last night, didn't work out. But you had Tyrese Halliburton out there acting the fool.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
You got Tobias Harris chirping. Now you know it's real.
That's what I'm saying. Like D-Mac, I love what I saw.
Yeah.
And Beef Stew was the catalyst for it all. And you know what? In the end, he didn't cost that team that game.
No.
They weren't winning that game last night.
They got outshot. Yeah.
They were not winning that game
it's
last
time
night.
and a place. What were they down at the time? Like, you know what? It's sort of like, you know, you're gonna pick your spots. And that was a great spot because how did the team react? And as a younger team, right, it just shows you, to your point, that these guys are all on the same page. Remember what we say about the Lions when we're pretty much 100% sure that they play for each other, right? Yeah. Well, now you're seeing that in the flesh when the tough times happen. And this will, like, that's the point of conversation now, is dealing with it, that they stuck together and stuff like this, and what happens in the future.
Robert Sloppy Toppenheimer. It's not the foul. It's the flipping off the crowd and the gun gesture at James Johnson. Man was heated, dude. Like, at that point, what difference does that really make? It gets him a fine, so what?
Yeah.
I like that he was the catalyst of it. And you know what I liked the most out of last night? Cade Cunningham, again, took a step in my book.
Oh, yeah.
Because he said, I'm not putting up with this ish.
Mm-hmm.
And he went to work. And look, they were never going to win that game. It just, and DNC ENT says it too. People blaming Stu for a 20-point game at a lot of points in the game is wild. And that's what I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
I just like that they all took it personal.
Yeah.
Every single one of them. JB Bickerstaff took it personal. Cade took it personal. And they couldn't get over that hump. They get it down to 4 or 5. And then the shot would be short. Mm-hmm. And again, guys, I'm telling you, you'll say it's excuses or whatever. I'm telling you what the facts are. The facts are it's the 5th game of a road trip. We saw a lot of into road trip stuff on the floor. But the one thing I like, to me, Cade Cunningham took a step last night.
You know what another thing is I just thought about? If you're Trajan Langdon, you see that, you know, whatever like this. Because that, you know, the mentality and stuff, playoff basketball. But is there somebody out there when as we're talking about trade deadline coming up, that you think that can help in a situation, stuff like that, right? Because your guys are going to fight. You said they're never going to win that game, but is there somebody that is in the mix to the point where this team is? I don't know. Does it open a conversation with him that they're closer? Because you learn a lot of you learn, Neil, in sports, you learn a lot more about, if you break it down, in losses than you do in wins.
Yeah.
Right? Like, because wins, sometimes you can fool yourself. In this, it goes a long way, and it goes a long way with let's see how they come out next game.
Okay, let's do this. Let's take a break. I want to get Spenny's thoughts on it as well, because I'm getting the vibe we may butt heads again on this one. So
yeah,
we're gonna do that.
I think it's a little nuanced, but yeah,
we're gonna do that when we come back. Spenny, tell them about Sabbath Coffee.
Sabbath Coffee Roasters, delicious locally roasted specialty coffee dropped off right at your doorstep. Use code word Woodward to get 25% off your first subscription order. Support local, support Michigan companies, support Sabbath Coffee Roasters. Like I said, SabbathCoffeeRoasters.com.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in the clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
No one gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You know, you guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
Let's give it up for David Tully, everybody. David Tully. This guy's got a hot girl.
bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports. We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
Neil Rule here for Woodward Merch, the very best in Detroit sports wearables. Go to shop.woodwardsports.com. Get geared up for the playoffs. Woodward basketball, Woodward hockey lines as well. Get geared up, get ready with the best in all of Detroit. Shop.woodwardsports.com. All right, keeping it pushing. Neil Rule, Darren McCarty, KG, Spencer Raxter, Chase Lounge in the building. All of you in the Woodward Sports chat thread. Let's get a look at some of this. Where was it? I had it right here. Oh, yeah, Mike O. Are the bad boys making a comeback, Neil? I know that everyone's going to make that equivalency right away.
Of course, yeah.
But I think this team took a step last night. Now, Spenny, you disagree a little bit.
I mean, I just think that it's more important for you to have one of your best players in your roster in a game that you're trying to win. And, like, everything that you said about Stu getting those guys fired up by doing that is true. It's also true for the other side. Those guys got fired up because of what Isaiah Stewart did. Those guys got more into it because of what Isaiah Stewart did. And they were hitting these insane shots partially because they were so fired up and wanted to win for their guy. And I think that Isaiah Stewart knows that this is going to be a chippy game. Isaiah Stewart knows that guys are going to poke at him because he's a crash out.
Oh, yeah, he talked about it before the game.
Yeah. He knows that's going to happen, so he has to be bigger than that. I think having a guy that is your best defender on the team, on the floor, working those pick and rolls against Siakam and Miles Turner would be more important than him getting thrown out of the game, personally.
Yeah, again, though, for me, it goes back to the spot.
Yeah.
Because then we're going to win that game anyway.
Neil, can I state for the record, too?
Spenny, you know, you follow NBA, man. You know.
Neil, can I also say for the record, I thought that Thomas Bryant, the last call that got him ejected, that was some bullshit. Thomas Bryant really flopped out on that fucking play. If you look at it, you can see that Stu's intent wasn't that. I get the call, but I thought it was garbage.
Oh, he went soccer. He went Euro soccer on it.
Yeah.
But again, though, Stu knows that. And Spenny, okay, like we did it last night. Now they don't play again, which really sucks because that was the first thing I did was go to the schedule.
Yep.
You know, but I was like, man, they don't play again. That sucks. Now, with that being said, Spenny, you're right. Because it can't happen again.
No.
It cannot happen again.
Yeah, he has to learn from this.
No doubt.
No, that's what I said. Is it's a learning experience and whatever else you took from that, but can't happen again. What are you going to do next time?
Right. But
because it can't cost you again.
At the same time, I would never want to take that fire or, the way Isaiah Stewart plays the game. Because one thing I realized last night after he got ejected is that he is really, I knew he was important to the team, but you really see how important he is because he's the only player that on a night in and night out basis, he is bringing the physicality for this team. Like, he is the energy that they need defensively and that you don't always get from Jalen Duren, although he's played better lately. Isaiah Stewart is he's the heart and soul of the team in terms of, going out there and providing a presence each and every night.
KG. Him and Oscar Thompson are the best defenders on this team.
Yeah,
it's not close.
Flat out.
No,
and
you're right.
The year beef Stewart's having, I totally agree. He can't, because teams are targeting him now.
Yep.
They know that, like he said, he's a crash out. We need to get in his head and get him about the game. And as soon as you lose him, you lose a big defensive presence. So he does need to be better, but I would never tell him to stop playing the way he plays.
And his switchability on the perimeter is so important when defending pick and pops, especially against bigs like Siakam and Miles Turner, to get a hand out there. Jalen Duren is not good at that.
Yeah.
Jalen Duren is not good at switching on the pick and pop and closing on the big shooter. You need a guy like Isaiah Stewart to do that. You need guys like Isaiah Stewart to, like you said, set a tone for sure, but not get ejected.
No, and that's fair. And in the future, it can't happen again.
Yeah.
But last night in the spot, and because I look at the way that team responded, man, to come back down, and look, they didn't get over the hump, they didn't get it done, but they did it 3 times where they were down 16 or 18, got it back down to 4, and like I said, just couldn't get over the hump.
And I think it's even more magnified that you don't have Jaden Ivey. Like this team can't afford to lose guys that are prominent pieces of the rotation with Jaden Ivey not being on the floor. Like that's one of Jaden Ivey's your second best player on this team, and he's gone for the year. Isaiah Stewart is a top 5 player, I'll say, on this team. You can't afford to lose him as well when your second best player isn't playing too.
I'll say this too, D-Mac, and you probably played with guys like this. Maybe you were this guy. Calling the games and being on the road with them, Isaiah Stewart has a presence going to breakfast.
Oh, yeah.
Like when he walks into, like, the beef stew that's out there, that's beef stew in life.
Yeah. And I love it. I love it.
Walking
I love
onto
that
the
version
bus.
of him.
So
I love how he plays. I love the physicality. You need to be smarter than that. You know they're going to do this to you.
Yeah.
You can't get kicked out of the game. Be physical. Be aggressive. Get a technical foul. Don't get a flagrant 2. You can't do that.
Yeah. And also,
You know where the
No, go ahead.
Do you know where this conversation goes? Do you know how you insulate him? Through the rest of the team, right? Where he's got to be that alpha dog. He's your probie. He's your whatever else. But you can't let the rats get to him too. So if and they'll do certain things to throw him off his game, right? Or to try to get him emotional.
Yeah.
So that's something that
he's a target. Yeah.
Right, exactly. So you have to help him by not putting him in those situations.
He's also developing a reputation with the refs, and I don't like that part of it either because he's being deemed as dirty, and that's one thing that you don't want.
Well, you know what I would
NBA.
say? I'd say he'll stop. If I was Beef Stew, I'd tell the refs that, you know what? Then I'll stop doing that when you start calling it more square on Cade. All right, so you determine how my physicality goes.
Ooh, that was Neil Rule tone right there.
Right, I liked it.
It's not up to me. It's up to you.
No, it's absolutely. You will develop, right? It's the same reason as if you touch him when I'm not on the ice, I'm going to smush him every time, right? I'm like, it gets to a point, there's different ways where the big guys go at the big guys and whatever like that, everything calms down. But if you go after my little guy, well, I'm going to smuck every other little guy. And I'll run away from you. And I'm not going to test you because you started it. And this is the game we're playing. So you could say that to the refs, sort of the refs too. A lot of the different times. Sometimes it matters, sometimes it don't.
It's like when I'm talking to Comcast when the internet price goes up. Hey, I want it what it was. And if I don't get it what it was, then I'm going to go in a different direction. So this whole thing isn't up to me. It's up to you. You let me know what we're doing.
Right. How bad you want me as a customer?
Yeah. Like, that's it. We don't have to go through the whole, the script and everything like that. Like, this is it. And that's fine. Like, you say, no, that's fine. We'll go in a different direction. Same thing, D-Mac. See, there you go. Life's the same all across the board. Rando Smalls in the super chat. Why doesn't the NBA call fouls the same for everyone? Rando, why doesn't the NFL call penalties the same for everyone?
Come on,
why doesn't Major League Baseball call strikes the same for everyone? It's the way the professional sports works, man. Mm-hmm. You got to earn respect.
You do.
You absolutely have to earn respect. And that was my takeaway last night. The Detroit Pistons look like a team that looks like they've had enough of not being respected, of not being treated the same. That it was like a moment. Yeah. I do believe that was a moment for
and
this team.
And they've played like that all season, but last night
it boiled over.
It was the culmination. Yeah.
Cade was pissed. They were all pissed.
They should be. And that's good. You do like to see that. I would just like to see Stu out on the floor guarding the pick and pops.
I agree.
Woodward Sports chat thread, Chuck Brewer. It's not about last night. It's about the future. Stu has to stay on the court and not let folks push his buttons. From what JB said post game, I don't blame Stu though.
Yeah, if you called me something out of my name or challenging my manhood, you got to stick up for yourself. I mean, it just is.
Yeah, and there are rumors about what he said, and if those rumors are true, he deserves to get swung on.
Yeah,
and so
point blank.
But
I'm a man at the end of the day.
But also too,
I'd rather see Isaiah Stewart out there talking shit when Miles Turner is grabbing and whispering into the ear of Malik Beasley, or when Tyrese Halliburton is making fun of Malik Beasley on a 3-point. I'd rather see him be able to be out there than that, than elbow a guy and get ejected.
But that's Tyrese.
Was he waiting on his car?
Yeah, probably. I love Stu, and I love the way he plays, but controlled fury is what I need.
Yep.
Or he could do the Melo. You got the Melo jersey on. Hey, meet me at the bus. What's up with it?
Right.
What's up with it?
Melo probably wouldn't have won that fight, but I
appreciate
it.
I respect him.
You go with KG like that, hey, man.
Yeah.
Whatever happens.
Yeah.
I will say this, too. Tyrese Halliburton has all the qualities of being a hated figure here in Detroit, dude.
He embraces it.
Bro, I got news for you, man. You ain't Cade Cunningham.
The moment he
On
said
the court,
he took
you're
that
not.
Piston shit personal, he has made it a point to go out there and embarrass the Pistons at every turn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why winning those games are more important to me than getting ejected.
No,
I want to beat the Pacers.
I get what you're
And
saying,
having
though,
Isaiah
Spenny.
Stewart on the floor
Yeah.
in games like that, then him getting ejected gives you a better shot of beating the Pacers.
Woodward Sports chat thread. Real cream of wheat. The Pistons as a whole have a bad rep with the refs. They never get a whistle, and it's part of it. And it's what the All-Star teams come out today.
The reserves.
Yeah, the reserves
starters
come out
already
today.
out.
Today,
Yes.
Yeah. So keep an eye on that, and you have to, Cade's got to get on the All-Star team, and
Which it should be.
which he should
foregone.
be.
Yeah.
And then
foregone
that's the process of how you start with that, how you start changing that. But D-Mac, the moral of the story is this. It was kind of fun last night, though. Like, I was locked in. That was, other than when I call the games, like, that was as most locked in as I've been in a long time.
Yeah,
man.
there's some juice to it. It had that vibe. You're building that, and it's going to turn into that rivalry. It is. It doesn't. It just started now and stuff like this. So to me, it's how do you adjust to this situation? And even though you don't play Indiana again during the regular season, if it comes up in other games, right? Because Spenny, you're at a point, and this is where the growth comes, right? You're at a point where you have to be able to embrace this and not use it to work against you.
Yep.
Right? Because you don't have, I guess, the bench, because you don't have the other guys to come in and hold it out. Like you said, Neil, they got it to 4, but just not over the edge. So you got to make it as easy as possible for yourself. And that's growth.
Chuck Brewer, at the end of the day, one franchise has 3 chips, one has 0. Sleep on that, Pacers fans. And Spenny,
That's true.
the Pacers made their choice. They chose their fighter.
did.
When they traded for Siakam,
Yeah.
that's pretty much a limit of what they're going to be, and it's not going to be enough.
No, it won't be.
Yeah.
So that'll make me feel better.
They're
No,
going to have to blow it
absolutely.
up in a couple years.
Also,
Yep.
let's bring rivalries back in basketball, because I
Yes.
love that
Yes.
the Pistons got beef out here. Because
Yes.
you've seen it a little bit with the Magic, you've seen it with Houston, and the Pacers-Pistons rivalry is alive and well.
Well,
Like,
I think
that shit is great.
Cade's gotten to a point where he's just like, I'll just go take it then.
Yeah.
Like, you can see it, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you can see it on the man's face. You can see it on his mannerisms
it.
around the court. I love it too, man. Like, he's done playing,
I'm here to win.
and he's gonna go take it.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
he's
what
got-
you want out of your superstar.
I'm telling you guys, man. I get the Isaiah vibes with him. I do. Where he'll just, and you saw stretches of that game, and we've seen it all season, man, where he just puts it on his back and goes and says, "I'm getting a
But
bucket
no, me
here."
and Spinny was crazy, though.
They called you a madman.
We tried
True.
to tell y'all, man.
They've called you a madman. Lady Jane's, D-Mac. You'd be a madman if you don't get your haircut at Lady Jane's.
Absolutely. Take the chore out of getting a haircut. Go to any Lady Jane's. There's over 100 across the country, like one of the talented stylists, maybe a hot leather neck shave. Spenny, you like those, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
You know, I was just seeing, like, you can get a little facial. You can
Scalp
get,
massage.
Scalp, is that your favorite?
Oh, yeah.
Come on in for just the scalp massage. Spenny definitely approved. So, Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Neil Rule here for FeldmanAuto.com. That's right, Feldman Auto, rooted in the Detroit community since 1996. Feldman Chevrolet in Novi, Michigan's #1 Chevrolet dealer, the nation's #1 EV dealer. But what if you want a Ford? What if you want a Kia? Then you go to the other Feldman umbrella as well. Because, again, your first step, no matter what kind of car you want, is FeldmanAuto.com. I'm not just talking new cars, used cars as well. If you're in Detroit and you want a car, FeldmanAuto.com. You can start the buying process online. They're goated on the sticks. We'll be out there at Feldman Chevy on Monday, as a matter of fact. FeldmanAuto.com. All right, back at it. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neil Rule, Darren McCarty, KG, Spencer Raxter, and, of course, Chase sitting in the Chase Lounge as well. J2 Element, the Pacers at one point were shooting damn near 70%. 70% from three. That point was like 5 minutes ago in the second quarter. Like, it wasn't like it was just 7 for 10. But, hey, somebody also said in the chat that the games against the Pacers have to be circled. They are.
Yeah.
I think that's safe to say.
Yeah.
I think that's definitely safe to say. D-Mac, I think something else that's safe to say. And remember yesterday when we got in the discussion about, and people were kind of killing the Brad Holmes draft last year? Remember that? I know you try to forget it.
Yeah.
That they quote, there were no stars taken in that draft. There were no like day one people that you can point to say that guy's got, Hall of Fame potential. You remember, right? You were here. I didn't make that up, right?
No, I was here.
You were
can't
here.
Pull that one by me.
Okay.
I didn't even have to go to the tapes.
Okay, gotcha. I just wanted to make sure.
Wasn't even in my HR complaint inbox.
It wasn't?
No.
Okay. Well, maybe can I submit something to you for HR complaint?
Please.
Ermanni and Edwards.
Oh, God.
2-4. What?
No, just go ahead, man. You know I'm a representation of
live from the Winter Blast tomorrow.
Yeah,
2-4,
as a matter of fact, 2-4.
Yep.
KG, tap in. KG is represented on this show. So you were here yesterday for E&E.
I was.
We're going to play this clip. We're going to go to you for comment.
Okay.
And then
and for context, Kenny, because you were there.
I got you.
And then ... Here's Ryan Ermanni, as heard yesterday. What?
No, just go ahead, man.
This was the first Brad Holmes draft since he's been the general manager of Detroit where he has not drafted a star, an immediate star that came in and performed for the Detroit Lions. Terrion Arnold was okay.
Reach.
He was good, but he wasn't a star.
He's gonna be though.
He might be.
He was a rookie.
He might
started.
But what I'm
He's
saying,
right. He's
okay,
not the first rookie to start. Nothing about him this year seems special to where I think that he's going to be great. Now, can he develop into a good DB? I think that's possible. But nothing about him looks special. At no week that the Lions played this year, nothing looked like, oh my God, I see it. Like he could be a good player.
And just as a point about that, yes, Maz, you are right. He could develop into something, but he was not a star this year. In Brad Holmes' drafts in prior years since he's been here, he has had stars, flat out NFL stars in year one.
And that was Ryan Ermanni. And Chase said that was on Monday because he cut the clip.
Yeah,
I saw it on
here
Instagram
Monday.
yesterday.
This is why I don't remember
Sent
it.
it to Spenny. Okay, but whatever. That being said, Spencer, I believe that you spearheaded the movement of this. You and I were in lockstep. Mm-hmm. We were in direct unison where you can say that, yeah, if you want to be simple, if you want to not understand nuance, if you want to not take a look at the whole and say, man, you know what? Maybe we're just at the point where everybody we draft, even into the 6th round, like Malcolm Rodriguez, isn't going to be a starter because they have actual talent. And when you sit there and look at the draft, you can say, wow, we drafted this draft. We didn't have to plug somebody in day one. They were never going to get usage to be a star. We were taking a 3rd corner in the 1st round or whatever the number was that we saw continual improvement from. So, Spenny, I go to you. You talked about it. We talked about it. There's your example. That's what's out there.
Yeah, and Ryan's not wrong. He wasn't a star. Terrion Arnold wasn't a star, and if that's what you're basing your argument on, you're right. But I also agree with Maz. He stepped into the hardest position in football to step into as a rookie, and he played 16 games, 17 games, whatever it is. And I expect him to improve. I expect him to be a star. I expect him to be cornerback 1 on this team when it's all said and done. This guy, he was there. It's not like he was getting burnt and torched down the field like Cam Sutton. He was there. He just needs to get his head around. These are small, nuanced things that he will learn and develop becoming a player in the NFL. And that's 100% right, Neil. You're not going to have 4 of your first 5 draft picks be starters on this team anymore because you don't need to. You're not going to have the 3 guys. You're not going to have 2 first-round picks anymore because you're not bad. You're not trading away guys to get extra first-round picks. You drafted a guy at 24. It's not the same as drafting Aiden Hutchinson at number 2 overall. It's not the same as drafting Penei Sewell at number 8 overall. Like, these guys are going to take more time to develop.
Jameer Gibbs.
Yeah.
Or Jamison Williams.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, D-Mac.
Or what, to 24. Here's the simple point, right, of coming off the game in San Francisco, right? The glaring point was to address the secondary, the corner position. You signed a Carlton Davis, and you drafted Terrion Arnold, who, number 1, fits the culture but played the toughest position. Now,
and his whole team died around him. Everybody got hurt.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and he was out. Here's the one thing what I like is it was never about just this year. It's about, did he get out there and the durability to play the games, the hunger, will he improve and stuff like that. That's what happened. There's not spots available, boys. There are just not spots available, and that goes to show you the development of your team and why the draft is so important. So I guess the question should be, did they draft the right guy?
Yeah.
Right? And I mean, at 24, where they picked him, I would say yes, from what you got out of it. Now, the big years next year, and you made a point, Spenny. Everybody around him went down.
Yeah. I think Terrion Arnold would have had a better season if Aiden Hutchinson didn't get hurt. I don't think that's a stretch to say.
Or even Carlton Davis. Didn't we see progression throughout the year and the way that they were locking it down and stuff like this, Carlton Davis? And yes, he could be better, but the hardest, don't we say it's the hardest position first year to jump into the NFL is cornerback? So
even just asking, Brad Holmes, he's drafted stars every single year. He didn't draft any stars this year. That's a lot to ask. Like, he's not going to draft. Not everybody that you draft is going to be day one star in this league. Some people need to be developed.
But don't you have to draft players? Doesn't he draft players, guys that play, guys that get on the field? Like, that's what I'm more concerned. That's what you need.
Not everybody
obviously with availability and durability and stuff like that. What he did show is that guys that he's drafted later on have come and made some sort of player impact and being a part of this team. So he drafts players. Maybe it's not he doesn't have to draft stars in the Sewells and the Hutchinsons in the top of the.
Yeah, and if you're giving up on this kid after 1 year at cornerback, you're stupid. First, I don't think Ryan Ermanni is doing that, but I've seen other people doing that. If he's a bust, it's over. They whipped. You're an idiot, first of all. Second of all, I believe in what Brad Holmes is doing. And third of all, every single person in this chat wanted them to draft a cornerback. They needed to draft a cornerback. That was the biggest hole on this team. And he went out there and he got 2 of them.
Can you imagine if they didn't have Terrion Arnold?
Yeah, if you don't believe in Brad Holmes and his draft picks now, because one of them wasn't an all-pro his rookie year.
Right, like, come on.
That's on you.
That's a lot to
That's
add.
on you, and that's just more of the spoiled Lions fans. That's more of that. That's more of, we get all-pros every single time we draft. We didn't get one at a rookie cornerback at 24. He's a bum. He doesn't know what he's doing. They should have drafted somebody else. If that's how you want to be, live in that camp. But stay there. Don't come back to our camp.
And I just, again, you know me, like I like to look at the logic and the math behind it, right? Mm-hmm. How many starting spots were they drafting for? Just one.
Yeah, there's one.
Just the one. Because I look at his first draft, Penei Sewell, starter, right? Aleem McNeil, starter, right? Amon-Ra St. Brown, Derek Barnes.
Yeah.
But that's what,
this 5 was at a time where they were devoid of talent, by the way.
Right. And look, and that's with Onwuzurike, Melifonwu. I mean, are those guys starters? Onwuzurike starts games. Like,
only if people are injured.
Right. So I'll even take those guys off the board. So, Sewell, McNeil, St. Brown, Barnes. That was 4 in the first draft. Hutchinson, he's a starter. Williams, Jamison Williams, he's a starter, right? Is Josh Paschal a starter? If you got to question it, then say no. Okay, no. Kirby Joseph, he a starter?
Yep.
Malcolm Rodriguez, is he a starter?
No.
Backup though,
What?
but
a serviceable
first backup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A good backup.
Jameer Gibbs, Jack Campbell, Sam Laporta, Brian Branch. Those guys are... Dude, I'm up to 14 starters right there.
Yeah.
There's only 22.
It's all right. And Weezy D313 is trolling in the chat because that's what he does. But yeah, if you go watch Darius Slay's film, and this was a bad defensive draft. It was. There was 16 offensive players drafted to start this in a row to start this draft. And yeah, was Quinyon Mitchell the number 1 cornerback on everybody's boards? Yes. Did he get drafted before Terrion? Yes. Did he perform better than Terrion? Yes. Those are linear things.
Yeah.
And this is not me. I'm not going at Ryan because what Ryan said was right. And I don't think Ryan's giving up on Terrion or anything. But he wasn't a star. But I think the expectations of him to be a star are a little ridiculous.
And people just don't realize how hard that is to do. For what Brad Holmes has done these last 2 to 3 drafts, you don't just get that overnight. That shit is hard to do. It's hard to draft young players that end up becoming your stars right away and carry you to an NFC championship. What are we talking about?
Terrion's job on this team when he was drafted wasn't even to be a star. It was to be cornerback too.
Yeah.
And he was doing that well. But Carlton Davis breaks his jaw. His entire offensive line or his entire defensive line all get hurt. Amik Robertson breaks his arm. He was forced to have to be that star. But when he was insulated with the pieces around him, like Quinyon Mitchell was in Philadelphia, when you have a cornerback 1 is Darius Slay on the other side, you have an elite defensive line in front of you, it's going to make your job a lot easier. And when you're a rookie cornerback forced to be in that spot, playing in a man coverage scheme where your defense isn't getting pressure, it's not going to look great.
Woodward Sports chat thread, WeezyD313, Sandra still greater than. And I knew people were going to do this. He had the couple picks against the Lions. The Eagles tore his ass apart. Took him apart.
Sanders still had the 5 interceptions on the year, which Terrion didn't have 1. No doubt that is better. Terrion had a better completion percentage against, less yards allowed and less touchdowns allowed than Mikey Sanders.
Yeah, because a ball didn't deflect to him twice. It's viewed as he's not a star. He doesn't have star potential. He's not a good player.
And Mikey Sanders still majority played in the slot.
Yeah.
And the Eagles tore the ass out of him in that game. I know because I did the watch party and we talked about it in great detail.
Yeah.
Destroyed him. Hunted him. So, keep it 100. You can't just look at the good and not say the bad. Because when they had a chance to go to the Super Bowl, they ate him alive.
Yep.
Tell me I'm wrong.
You're not.
No,
I'll sit there and watch film. Actually, I don't have to watch film. I already watched film with you. Go back and watch a watch party. They took him apart. So you can save me with that. And if that would have happened, if that would have happened to Terrion Arnold, what would have been the narrative?
He's a bust.
So keep it 100, everybody.
But guess what, people? It's a lot harder to hit than it is to miss in terms of drafting people. So
no, that is. All right, let's take the break. Planet Fitness, everyone, was just there, as a matter of fact. Couple hours ago, getting in the work. And I can do it no matter where we broadcast from because there's always a Planet Fitness close by. We'll be in Novi on Monday. I'll go to the Planet Fitness in Novi. It's a mile away from where we are. You said E&E. They'll be hating on Brad Holmes' drafts from Royal Oak. What? There's a Planet Fitness just a couple miles from there.
I don't think it was complete hate, but go ahead.
Hate.
I gotta stick up for
anyway,
all
the moral of the story is there's over 50 Metro Detroit Planet Fitnesses, so there's one close to you. You're going to pass a couple on the way home. The Black Card membership still $24.99 a month, and it gets you access to everything inside Planet Fitness, guys. Just pop on the website, take a look around, planetfitness.com, or you can just join right away. You say you're going to start taking fitness seriously, well, then be serious about it. Planet Fitness, it's the best gym in the gym game.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
No one gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
I think you won. We got
This guy's got a hot girl.
Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports. We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports. A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man-meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
1800 Tequila, the official tequila of the Detroit Lions. You can see they've got the Lions jersey themed bottles right there. You can find them in stores near you today. 1800 Tequila, the smoothest taste in tequila. And as always, please drink responsibly.
All right, back at it. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neil Rule, Darren McCarty, KG, Spencer Raxter, hour number 2, by the way. Don't forget, too, the podcast is out there, wherever you get your podcasts, iTunes, Spotify, Spreaker, whatever you do. If you're more that style, we got you covered. If you want to, you can get involved. Woodward Sports chat thread, jump into there. You want to skip the line, take advantage of the super chat, like Zach Soap. This is the worst professional sports team loss I've ever felt. Worse than the Red Wings 09 loss. People are just hurt and angry. How do we recover? Zach, we're all on our own island for that. We just are.
Get back on the horse.
That's it, 100%. Like, there's nothing you can do about it. It's over.
Yep.
So, get back to work. Get the draft ready, free agency ready, all of it. I mean, that's all I can tell you.
Another year of our lives taken. It just is what it is.
That's it. Steve Wild, Sam called out Neil this morning for knob slobbering Hinch, and Neil has taken it. Is that true?
Yes. And
really?
Yeah. You go back to watch that. I know you. But no, I defended you. I said that, I don't think we're overly glazing what A.J. Hinch did last year. Sam feels like a lot of people just give A.J. Hinch too much credit and don't give the players enough credit.
Jesus Christ.
Look at Neil's face. It's priceless.
They had one starting pitcher.
Yeah.
That's literally, A.J. Hinch literally made that work.
He feels like people don't give the players enough credit.
Explain to me how A.J. Hinch doesn't make that work.
He's got guys that can only hit one side of the plate. He's got one starting pitcher. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah. I push back.
If you didn't have A.J. Hinch, you weren't making the playoffs.
I push back.
Oh, why are you glazing him?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm like, bro, he was up for manager of the year. Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah,
like,
he should have won manager of the year.
It's not like he was a scrub. Like, we praising him. He's not a scrub. Like, he literally is single-handedly responsible for a lot of wins the Tigers had. Like,
he had one starting pitcher.
I'm aware.
And as Spenny said, guys who can only hit from one side of the plate.
Yeah, I'm aware. I'm fully aware. Yeah. Our Tigers talk was a doozy this morning. It was.
But then again, that's a guy that thinks Nikola Jokic isn't good. So,
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I think he thinks Nikola Jokic is good.
He likes Embiid. He's an Embiid fan.
He respects what
Even
Embiid
worse.
did in the MVP season and the regular season, which he had a great season that year.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't help him in the playoffs. But
nope.
Chuck Brewer, exactly, Neil. Sam wanted him fired last year. Can we confirm that?
No, I was on the desk. I think it was for Big D Energy. We was filling in for one of these shows, and yeah, he said it live on air.
Yeah, before the run, I do remember that.
Yep, he wanted him fired. He changed his tone.
He changed his tone, though,
yeah,
for sure.
he repented for it.
Oh yeah, that happens a lot with him.
He's trying.
Changes his tone a lot, right?
Yeah.
You try to enlighten people, man. D-Mac, you can only tell people whether or not they act on it. That's up to them.
You can only lead a flannel to water.
You can't make them drink.
Make her drink.
D-Mac, did you see this
flannel.
story about Amon-Ra St. Brown?
No.
Did you hear about how he found out that Antoine Randall was leaving? He talked about it on his podcast.
No.
All right. I want Spenny's
Antoine Randall went where?
Chicago.
He went to Chicago with Ben Johnson.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Spenny's going to play it here, and I want to get your take on it. What's the craziest way you found out that a coach or a player or somebody was leaving? So listen, this was on the St. Brown Brothers podcast, right?
Yep.
All right, here it is, D-Mac, how he found out Antoine Randall was leaving.
how do you feel about your receiver coach leaving you high and dry to join Ben on the dark side? Like, how do you feel about that? Like,
how do I feel about that? I'm happy for him.
Did he text you, call you, like, yo, I'm leaving?
No, so I'll actually tell you what happened.
Damn, he didn't say shit to you?
I found out Ben, what was this, last week? Ben, last Monday or something, they said Ben's going to the Bears, whatever. We have a group chat with all the receivers and coach in it. And so I was just like, the next day or something, I was just thinking about, I go, let me hit the group chat because, Antoine Randall, I don't know if you know this, our receiver coach is from Chicago. So I was like, maybe he's going to go with him. So I hit the group chat, I go, ain't you from Chicago, ? I sent that. Next one. You following Ben, ? And then literally I sent that at 6:17 p.m. 2 minutes later, I get a call from him. What the fuck? I answer. He's like, what's up, man? He goes, hey, man, how'd you know? Did that get leaked? I said, no, I was just messing around. Like, I was just asking. He goes, yeah, man. I'm going to end up taking that job. The coach and assistant head coach. So I got to do it. I got to take it, man. It's a step up. I was like, yeah, I feel it. I get it. And he's from Chicago, too. So it's like, step up, gets to be receiver coach, knows offense, knows Ben. It just makes sense for him. I'm not upset. I'm not upset about it. I'm happy for him, but it was funny how it all went down. I was literally messing around in the group chat and just called me like 2 minutes later. Hey, man. How you go? I was messing around.
Damn, the whole line staff's up and leaving y'all. Like, everyone's leaving. It's crazy.
What's your take on that, D-Man?
First of all, EQ is one of my favorites. He's an absolute troll.
Oh, yeah.
When it comes,
Agitator.
like Spenny, is that what it's like to have a brother?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Is that like, what's it like to go to the dark side? Ooh, did he tell you? Oh, did he call you? Like, he already knew, dude.
Right.
Oh, that sucks. No, I mean, it's the evolution of anything like that, as far as messing around and like, that's sometimes how it really goes down. Right, to the fact you stumble upon something. The only one I can think back of was my first year, and it was a guy named Mike Avazov who I played in the minors with, who had made the team in the 93-94 season out of camp, but because he was a pro, then they used to have the waivers. So after training camp was going through waivers, and we're sitting in the hotel room, whatever, playing cards, and he gets a phone call, and he's like, "Oh, going to Pittsburgh." So it was like. And that was sort of like slap about, oh wow, we're playing in a professional league.
Yeah.
And everything that he said there, when a guy coaches, just like anything else, are trying to strive to the top level and make more money, more responsibility, and out there. So it was inevitable, right? Now it's my question is, okay, if I was the EQ, I'd say, so who's next up? Is a guy in, or are you bringing a guy in? What do you want? Doesn't matter as much right now, I think, because of the development and what you have, the veteranship in that room.
Yeah, the receiver
and Tim
room's
Patrick
cool.
is a big part of that.
Mm-hmm.
And Jared Goff and stuff like this. So it'll be interesting. I'm sure it'll be a former player. But, I mean, I love that. What's great about their podcast is you can feel the transparency.
Right.
How they take you behind the curtain and stuff like that. And so, yeah, I mean, I guess good luck, but no, you're in Chicago now, so fuck you, Antoine.
do y'all think St. Brown knew already? Because Braylon led with the caveat that you don't just make jokes like that. He felt like St. Brown knew, and that's why he was messing with him in the group chat. And it just so happened that, he really was going to Chicago. But Braylon thinks St. Brown knew already, and that's why he was poking at him.
I don't know. I didn't get that vibes like he was lying.
I didn't get that vibe. I got that vibe like you're sitting around and something hits you, like, when you're on a group chat and you either want to chirp somebody, send, video comes across, or you're like, hey, aren't you from here? And it just so the timing, you probably just got off the phone. You know the way the universe works sometimes with timing, right? Whereas where we see that is that it pops in your head. Why? Because he probably just hung up the phone. That might be another question that you could find out behind the scenes if we run into St. Brown.
Woodward Sports chat thread, Cody Engel. You can tell that players aren't fazed by the departure of coaches. And Cody, this was the biggest thing I learned from being around it. Players don't get fazed by much. I would say players don't typically get fazed by regular season losses either, because it's part of it. And it's amazing to me, like seeing it, how they compartmentalize. Like I always talk about you and Braylon. Never once do you guys complain about officials. Never once. Because you can't be fazed by it. Because if you are, you're dead. Like it's over. If it locks you up, then there's, what are you going to do? What good are you out there? It's bad things that happen. Being around teams that have, suffered tragic losses. You know what I'm saying? Not like tragic like death. I'm talking like, just somebody throws in a 70-foot shot at the buzzer.
Yeah.
That goes in and you lose, and you're just like, what just happened? They can move past that pretty well. But D-Mac, you have to. You don't have a choice, man, because there's another game.
There's no option. And either you do or somebody else will.
There's
another guy waiting for your job.
And it's the nature of the beast. That's the other thing I've learned from working in sports, especially with teams. Everybody is temporary. Every single person in the organization is temporary. They will be gone at some point.
And especially as the team gets better. Right? Danny G and says the Chicago Bears are doing everything to be the Detroit Lions. Of course. You always try to be who's above you and see what it takes. And if you have to take some of their coaches to how they got there, well, when the time comes, then you have to pay for it. So it's also, one of these things, it's the evolution. But the main characters stay. And that's usually what happens, right? That's why do we always say, when you go to Allen Park for the Lions, you got to go through the door, and either Dan Campbell, Brad Holmes, or both of them are opening the door. We didn't say Ben Johnson opening the door. We didn't say Aaron Glenn opening the door. Antoine Randall. No. Because that's their castle.
That actually made me feel better watching Amon-Ra St. Brown on that clip. Because it's been internalized, it's been dealt with, and now here we go.
And it's like, man, that sucks. But, good for him. And when you see that, you feel good because your boy's getting paid. Right? That's also one to it. I mean, the object of the game, right, is the bag also. You got a bigger bag, didn't he, Neil? You get bigger bag as assistant coach or whatever it is?
6 or 7 times the bag. Guaranteed.
Oh, really? Oh, and the guarantee.
And it's guaranteed.
Yeah, well, I can see it. And it gives you more juice, too. Like, I like it. Your guys are going to be up when you're sitting seeing your former coach on the sideline. You guys show out.
All right. I know that we're late for the break. Greg in the chat. I love Amon-Ra St. Brown. That's my guy. Also, too, Michael, if you want loyalty, get a dog. Hey, he's not wrong, man.
That's real.
Like,
you can get a cat, too.
Yeah.
Hunter the cat.
Hunter the cat. I almost had a crash out about him yesterday. When he walked by and clawed at the couch.
Ooh.
Next to the scratch post.
Oh, right in front of you?
100%.
Almost kicked the pussy, huh?
No, I turned to my wife. I'm like, what are we doing here with this thing? Like why? Like, he does this all the time. You got to feed him. You got to change that litter box. Like, what's the payoff? What's the ROI? What's the return on investment?
Of course, Neil. What's the payoff of having
What's the payoff, for real? And she couldn't answer me. Like,
cats are annoying. They're extra maintenance.
She couldn't answer me.
Get the right cat.
I like cats.
Get the right cat.
I'm a dog person.
I like dogs more, but I still like cats.
You gotta get the right cat.
What's the ROI? She didn't have an answer.
Tilly was a great cat. I had my roommate had a cat in college. Her name was Tilly, Matilda. Great cat.
Yeah.
I'd come home drunk, lay on the kitchen floor, and she'd come over.
Make sure you're breathing.
Yeah.
Attaboy.
Yeah.
Nice.
Neil don't like the pussy. It's okay.
What's the return on investment? For real. Like,
memories your daughter will have for the rest of her life, Neil.
Right.
Responsibility.
Neil, like, fuck that. Like,
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. You don't know. Same answer I got last. No, I mean, for real.
I can
like,
see
the
Neil
cost versus what they provide.
Neil at the Humane Society. What's the return on investment on this?
That cat is the Javi Baez of my family.
And you continue to be the Chris Illich, and he will be part of it on the payroll.
No, because I said for real. Like,
Zach Soap, the payoff is love.
By who? From who? To who?
From your children to the cat.
Neil, man.
And the appreciation.
Well, that's weird because when they have to change a litter box, I don't feel that love from them.
I was told to feel love while I'm doing all this
I was
shit.
told the cat loves you and you love the cat. Hey, go change a litter box. Well, no, this is love, I thought. That's
You
what I
get
was
one of those
told.
little backpacks and put it in there that's got like the like open screen so it can see out, and you like go for a walk with it, or get a little harness for it. Beth has a harness for her cat.
Of course she does.
She's
My
that cat's got a lot of stuff.
So on brand.
my roommate's girlfriend works at the Humane Society. I could maybe try to hook you up with some stuff, Neil. She's hooked me up.
What do
with
you mean with what stuff?
Like I've got like a cat crate,
like
one
a
of
car
those
ride?
backpacks that Spenny's talking
He
about.
talk about that catnip on the
And,
side, put that
so,
cat
like,
down for a
I've
little
got
while.
cat toys.
Yeah.
You got a good deal on some cat.
I was intrigued when you said Humane Society because I figured like I could drop it off and then drive out of the parking lot,
I mean,
never to see that thing again.
if that's what you want to do,
Look how serious his face is.
The return isn't equal to the cost.
They don't do it. You don't got to take care of a cat. They do their own thing.
I know.
You
Like
gotta
claw
feed
the
'em.
furniture.
You got to put enough food in their bowl for one day because cats are dogs.
Dogs eat.
They'll eat it. If
Constantly.
you put a full bowl of food out for a week for a dog, it'll eat it in one day and
Yeah,
throw
that's a
up.
fact.
You put a full bowl of food out for a cat, it'll eat it when it's hungry.
Put the emotion aside.
I love dogs though. I'm a dog guy more than a cat guy. I do. Want
Give me a T column. The cons and the pro. The cons outweigh the pros. They do.
They do.
Like take love out of it because love's an emotion.
Well,
I'm talking about like reward
Cats
for
will
it.
eat you if you die too. If you die in your house, your cats will eat you. They'll eat your face.
I'll outlive that cat just based on that.
At least with a
We'll
dog.
see. Hey, cat. We'll see who eats who.
At least with a dog, they might protect your household. So I guess that's a pro. But
Hey, cats scrap. I've seen cats.
yeah,
Yeah.
my cat tore me up when I got excited about the Kerry Carpenter home run in Cleveland.
Yeah, see, cats also do that.
yeah.
Real cream of wheat. I've never
So
heard anyone.
I got the sweetheart of the cat.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, Tilly was a great cat.
Cuddles.
She's
Neil, like, fuck all that love shit.
a dog will eat you too, Robert Sloppy. That's true, but they'll wait longer. And golden retrievers won't. Golden retrievers won't eat you if you die.
You
Most
know what?
dogs will though.
You know what is a good return on investment? New Holland Brewing
there
Company.
you
I
go.
love them and they love me. Taller. The Dutch long drink. It's a very symbiotic relationship I have with New Holland Taller. They take the small batch gin, they mix it with the grapefruit puree. It provides me happiness. That's how it's supposed to be. That's the way it works. That's why I love New Holland Brewing Company. West side of the state, local Michigan company as well. They got a great line of bourbon. That brings me joy. It's a great relationship.
Not a fucking cat.
New Holland Brewing, everybody. No, for real, though. You need to try Taller. Go to Total Wine. Go to your local Meijer, wherever it is sold. Go pick it up and try it. You'll thank me. That'll be your official drink of summer. New Holland Brewing.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app online or in club and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Let's Stanford.
Oh, absolutely. New year, new you. How about a new car? Let's Stanford Buick GMC is here for you. Get a 2025 Hummer EV SUT for 24 months with 10,000 miles per year for only $699 a month. Just $19.99 down payment, or a 2025 GMC Sierra 1500 Crew Cab. 24 months, 10,000 miles per year for only $359 per month. Sign and drive, no down payment required. GM discount required for both. Get to Let's Stanford today or click on the QR code on the screen and check out our massive inventory Les Stanford, Buick and GMC, LesStanford.com. Together, let's drive. Boom.
All right, keeping it pushing. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neil Rule, Darren McCarty, KG, Spencer Raxter, Chase in the building as well. All of you in the Woodward Sports chat thread. Lots of reaction, I guess, to the cat thing. Danny G, Neil, are you going to re-sign that cat at the end of his contract? No. I will trade him for a player to be named later, future considerations. Literally just a cap dump.
Yeah,
I'll give you compensation to take them. It'll be like Zach LaVine.
The Jared Goff move. But with a cat.
Yeah, I'll do like Zach LaVine, man. Right. I'll give you a second-round pick. Please take him. Please take him. So, yeah, that's what it is. Danny G. Neil probably gives the cat a lot of tone. I do.
No, that's a fact.
100%. He gives me tone, too, though. Like, I don't know if he's like, there's something off with him.
No, cats can read people. They
do.
Like, there seem like
the cat knows your asshole.
He's steering up.
You're right.
He's like desperate for attention. Like, if I wanted that, I'd have another kid or something, you know? Like, I've never seen a cat before. Like, the cats I remember.
Pussy requires attention, dude.
No, like, the cats I remember, they just, like, did their own thing. Like, when my parents had one when I was a kid, it just did its own thing. It didn't come up to you bothering you, like, walking with he'll like have his little ball in his mouth and walk up to me, look at me, and then drop it in front of me.
Yeah, wants to play.
Yeah. Does he?
I don't have time for that shit. I didn't want the cat.
You got to play cat.
When we got the cat, I already didn't have time
got
for
one
it.
like the princess. The princess will come around. She'll give you the time. She wants some pets, some scratches like this, and she'll go climb her thing or go to a window or whatever.
You got to give him a
on
little
her
perch by
time.
a window. You got to give him one of those.
We do that. He's got his scratch post upstairs. It's like faced out the window. He doesn't care.
He just wants to be friends with you, Neil.
Yeah.
Does he purr around you?
I don't have time in my life for a new friend.
Does he purr around you?
I don't have time.
Oh, somebody's getting towed.
Yeah, they've been out there for a while.
Yeah, like when my wife's holding them and stuff. Like, I don't hold them, so like.
Do you hold him, Neil?
You hold him for
I do.
sure.
No, I do not. No, I don't want the cat hair all over me. I don't want the cat hair on me. That's another detraction. Just another thing in the cons column.
They do shed a lot.
Yeah,
100%. My cat. Save it in the chat, by the way. My cat doesn't shed. Bullshit.
No,
your cat sheds.
My brother had a hypoallergenic cat. It was.
You can get Mr. Bigglesworth too, skinless one.
Yeah, get a skinless.
Those are.
That's what Neil should have had.
Right.
One of those skinless ones.
Cats.
Yeah.
Mr. Bigglesworth.
Fit your personality too.
Tommy K, what if the cat takes a pay cut, Neil?
Neil,
well, we'd have to get that in writing.
Hometown discount?
Yeah.
Neil, like, I have no place for you here. I'm sorry. I got the new recruits coming in.
The depth chart is full.
You're right.
The depth chart is full.
You got to go.
But yeah, so that was it. I hope you guys are happy.
You hold the cat, Neil.
You definitely hold the cat.
I swear to God, I've never held that cat in my life.
You
and
can't
I never
lie to
will.
us, Neil.
No.
You know you can't.
No.
You know you're
Sorry,
sitting
furless, not skinless.
sitting there on a cold August evening watching some college football, and Hunter's sitting right on your lap, curled up.
Not one
sipping
time.
a bourbon.
Right.
No, he hates bourbon. That is funny. Like, he came over there one time. I had my glass, and I had it set down on the floor on the couch next to me, and he came like walking over with his
You fed him liquor, Neil.
And he walked over, and as he got towards me, he just like stopped and did like that, and then how they walk backwards, and I was like, what are you doing? And then it clicked that he got over by the glass,
smelled it, yeah.
And so he walked around the other side. So I took the glass and I put it by him, and he walked backwards, and I was like, oh,
I found a deterrent.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
That's wild.
What?
He's your cat, man.
No, he's not my cat. He's not my cat.
Top 5 cats.
Yeah.
We should. In honor
yeah,
of him,
on a day I'm not here. Top 5 cats.
The first day he's not here, we doing it.
Sure. The
Seems
emergency.
like that's all we do is talk about cats when Neil's not here.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
It's cat
Neil
list.
hates the pussy. It's okay, man.
Yeah.
It's okay.
My cat, cat's bot, all of them useless. All of them absolutely useless.
That we could agree with.
Stephen Baffy. I don't know about you, Neil, but a kitty on my lap is heaven. You're soft.
That is kind of
what type of kitty?
No, I agree.
Yeah. Alan W. Neil's like Billy Bean and Moneyball. Made the Humane Society fill up his vending machine to take the cat. Jojo Rofo. Good luck in your future endeavors to the family cat is crazy.
Yeah,
I mean, that's... You're free. Good luck in your future
You
endeavors.
can go home now.
Yeah.
He'd come back.
Not where I would drive him to.
Neil's dropping him off in the hood. Dropping him off in the yak.
Neil dropping him on 6 Mile.
Yeah.
Okay, can we reset now? Can we get to sports?
Yeah.
Can we do that, please? You people and your cats, all right? We're going to do it. Yes, we're going to get into the Red Wings thing because it is a big game tonight. I'm getting the same vibes about the Red Wings game that I got about the Indiana game last night for the Pistons. We'll get to that. There's another Lions thing that I do want to do because, Spenny, I'm glad you put this on there about Aaron Glenn and who he's targeting because I think this is going to be our first experience of the rubber meeting the road. And I want to see how we're going to take it.
Yeah.
All right, so let's do this. Let's take the break, get back on track. All right?
Damn.
Shop.woodwardsports.com. No cat merch. Huh?
Rip that Buick.
Yeah. It was like an old lady out there.
Yeah. No cat gear at shop.woodwardsports.com, at least to my knowledge. Just Tigers gear, Red Wings, Lions, Pistons, Detroit sports gear, all of it. There's a Woodward Sports golf line as well. The sun's out. Eventually it'll be warm. That day is not today, but eventually it will be. So, again, shop.woodwardsports.com, the very best in Detroit sports wearables.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
WoodwardSports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. WoodwardSports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at WoodwardSports.com. Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi Experts, Woodward Sports.
Soroki's crispy chicken and pizza. Delicious, delicious stuff. 7 different flavors of wings for you to choose from. Try them all and choose your favorite for yourself. My personal favorite is the spicy garlic, but you make your own decisions. Like Neil with his cat, you're the boss. So make sure you tap in Sorokis.com to find some location near you. It's Soroki's crispy chicken and pizza.
All right, back at it. Big D Energy. Neil Rule, Darren McCarty. Of course, we have Spencer Raxter, KG, the Chase Lounge in full effect as well. And one more Lions thing before we get into Red Wings Oilers, because it is a big game. It's getting that big game vibe to it.
Big game, James Shields.
Remember that bit?
Mm-hmm.
But I do want to talk to it. But, Spenny, you brought up a great question. Aaron Glenn, coach of the Jets, reportedly targeting Derek Barnes and Ife Melifonwu in free agency. So this is our first, D-Mac, we've come to another bridge as Lions fans. We are not used to drafting people that we would, even have around for a second contract. Yeah. So that was new. Like when we saw Lee McNeil and Amon-Ra and Penei Sewell all get second contracts. That's not something we typically do here. But D-Mac, now we have to cross another bridge. Derek Barnes played well for us, right?
Well, I mean, like somebody said this. I said we were happy with him for what? Few games this season, but he's never been the one. Everybody was always wanting more, and you know it's certain guys like when they come up that would Derek Barnes, did he succeed with Aaron Glenn? Does it make sense in that way? Why would he? And I don't know if it's poaching or whatever, but be interested in guys that he had because he knows what he can get out of them if they're healthy. Both of those guys, aren't you talking about health issues also and stuff like this? And they're also secondary guys. In my opinion, right, there's other more important guys in front of them. So, again, it comes down to Brad Holmes or Dan Campbell and what they want. And now it's Calvin Shepard moving forward if these guys are a part of it. But it makes sense. What's Aaron Glenn got? It's the same thing as Ben Johnson hiring Randall L. and Aaron Glenn hiring other coaches. Familiarity. You need some familiarity. We saw it here. Brad Holmes came here. Who did he bring? Jared Goff. Who did they bring? Also Dan Campbell, Anzalone. You know what I mean? There's some familiarity, and it's always the way that it goes. So, yes, do we like Derek Barnes? Do we like where he's at? Is he a guy that we need, if healthy, to be a part of this team? Yes. But, again, at free agency, other teams can go pay him more money.
Zach Soap in the super chat. Top 5 most embarrassing moments. I thought we did a subset of that before. We might have. I feel like we did too. Woodward Sports chat thread. I want to know where the people are at. Steve Wilds, I like Rodrigo in Barnes' spot. Danny G, Barnes isn't better than Rodrigo, to be honest. So, Real Cream of Wheat says Rodrigo can't cover like Barnes. So here we are at our first fork in the road.
I would say Rodrigo's better at covering than Barnes. Barnes is a better rusher.
Yeah.
And then the question is, right, is that a cover, if you're looking for a cover linebacker or physical line, you know what I'm saying? Is that something that you look for?
A Sam. That's the role you're looking to fill if Barnes goes, and he is replaceable. You get a Sam in the draft. You need a guy that's going to play that outside blitz linebacker spot. You don't really have one. Derek Barnes was that, and he played it well. It's not like Derek Barnes is a bum, but we talked about on heavyweights, he's going to outprice himself. Yeah, like you're talking about having still to re-sign Kirby and J-Mo and Hutch, and I would rather have Carlton Davis back on this team than afford Derek Barnes and not be able to afford a Carlton Davis. He is more replaceable than a Carlton Davis. You can draft a guy to fill that role, and when you look at your 3 linebackers, if Derek Barnes leaves as Anzalone, Campbell, and Malcolm, you like that spot. And then the 4th guy, if you want to draft somebody or you want your 4th linebacker to be a Trevor Nowaski or a Ben Neiman or something, because Nowaski played that Sam role pretty well. Yeah. He was terrible in coverage when they asked him to play middle linebacker because Anzalone got hurt. But when he was at that Sam and he was blitzing the quarterback, he did pretty well.
It's just, I already feel it though, right? The tension in the air right now.
I don't think it's a lot of tension.
People seem to be divided a little bit on it.
People are divided.
You can be divided though, and it's not life or death with a move like this. Because, like I said, guys that took a little bit longer in their development, they are up for discussion at this point. Your Levi's, him, Iffy, like, I don't think it's that hard of a decision. It all depends on the number. And if you're going to outprice yourself, I think Brad Holmes has his number. And if we can't reach an agreement, then so be it.
DNCNT, so are we taking a Barnes replacement, the 6th round?
Yes.
You could. For
100%.
the position. Listen to what Spinney said. You're good at that position.
No, they are, but I do.
You need a 4th linebacker.
But what I value, though, is the pressure. That's what I value, which is what he excelled at.
And that's why you're drafting another edge. Like, you got Zadarius Smith. You got Nate Hutchinson back. I like Nowaski in the same spot when he was blitzing the quarterback. He did that very well. I'm not signing Derek Barnes to more than $2.5 million a year.
All right. For not a regular
You brought up a great
starter.
point because of the other guys that you're not going to take money away from and causing you to sign. Right? I firmly agree, too. I'd rather put that money towards Carlton Davis. Mm-hmm. Right? I think that's... Yeah. You have... you need somebody to come in and play specifics. You mentioned it yesterday, Neil. Now we're drafting for specific guys to do specific jobs.
That's where we've graduated to.
That's where we've graduated to. So a lot of the times, and I think these guys bring it up, Raul, is that a lot of times when it comes to free agency, if you price yourself out, then and these are guys that you're prepared to lose.
Yeah.
Woodward Sports chat thread, super chat, Keith Schmidt, draft Landon Jackson. There's a lot of draft stuff out there as well. One Funky Lions fan, draft Barrett Carter, linebacker from Clemson in the 2nd round.
Second round's aggressive. Your first 2 picks need to be defensive line and offensive line, in my opinion.
Which I would agree with as well. Yeah. Because, and people are forgetting that, right? Like when you come up with these little theories, draft this linebacker 2nd round here, you have to remember the Lions are in a spot, though, with their offensive line where you do have to have that system feed itself.
Yeah.
And it's going to take resources to do it, to get the good
ones.
But
they have, not to say that they don't need to draft, but they have already invested some resources in that. And we know Brad Holmes' philosophy to be best player available. So I wouldn't be surprised if he took a linebacker 2nd round. I don't think he will, but just putting that out there.
But again, here's the thing, right? It's got to be explained. And whoever they do draft will be that they feel is the best possible that fits all the criteria. Right, there's a lot of things that we might not know, but like culturally, the guy that they draft will fit in.
Yeah.
Chris says, besides the interception against the Bucs during last year's playoffs, how many difference-making plays by Barnes can you name?
You can't.
That was a missed sack on Dak.
He's responsible for one of the greatest plays in Detroit sports history, but outside of that, what has he really done?
He's a good player.
He's a good. Yeah, I'm not saying he's not.
Though. Yeah.
He's going to become the face of this, right? Like the whole, we need to have money for the other guys. He's going to be the first one.
Maybe, yeah.
I'm getting
That's what
that.
happens.
Yeah, but
I
that
really
is.
think it's Levi, but I think he's a bigger decision than Derek Barnes is, and even I'm willing to part with him.
40 Gumble. Neil, I'd offer Barnes $95,000, a company car, 3 weeks vacation, accruing after 90 days, of course.
It's a good deal.
Is there? What if he comes back with he wants only after 30? Can we move to that?
Well, I would have to question his motives then.
Right.
And I know he's big into the private company bathroom on the 3rd floor.
Who isn't?
Right.
Now that's a selling point for me.
That's what I'm saying.
Real Cream of Wheat, with all these changes, and everyone thinks it's just going to be the same next year. And Real Cream of Wheat, that was the clip that we put out yesterday when I was talking about that. I said by nature.
They was killing you, too. I was surprised.
Oh, my God,
it was
man.
stupid.
Did you get killed for?
Oh, yeah.
They kicked his back in over
Like, these guys are scared in the chat.
For saying that, I expect there to be regression from the standpoint of you have 9 road games, and your easiest non-division road game is at the Rams, who were division champions last year. I said, and it was like we talked about, that you're going to see some regression just in record alone.
Yeah.
And like I do, and am I crazy that I think like a new offensive coordinator is going to take like, I don't know, 3 or 4 games to get things running at maximum efficiency?
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Anything in your life that you start at doing new, you do it better the 3rd or 4th or 5th or 6th time you do it than the first time you do it. But Neil, you're crazy. I'm going to unsubscribe because of all this negativity. Good. There's 122,000 people behind you that did subscribe. So, whatever. Like, I couldn't believe that, dude.
Yeah, it was
I was
bad.
getting murdered about it. But that's not an unreasonable take.
Not at all.
Like, excuse me, if like I just don't think they're going to hit the ground running and be 12-0. I don't think that, especially given that schedule, man. But yeah, all right, let's do this then. Let's take the break because I want to talk about the Red Wings game tonight. I do, because I'm locking in, and it's nice because I got to do Oakland Green Bay for ESPN Plus, and I'll get home right around the time it starts. So I'm fired up about that. Let's see here. Where were we at? Oh, yeah, Mark White. Tell about Mark White.
I will tell him about Mark White. If Derek Barnes has to get a new home or sell his home, you might want to hit up Mark White. Mark White will save you to $5,000 your closing costs. Visit him at markwhitesells.com or call him at 248-290-8242. Mark White, like I said, he'll save you up to $5,000 of your closing costs. Mark White will get you into your dream home.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
No one gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
I think you won. David Tully, everybody. David Tully. This guy's got a hot girl.
Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
All right, Woodward sports fans, whether you're hitting the game or just chilling, Jars Cannabis, they have you covered. Jars is home to Michigan's largest lineup of rec cannabis products. They've got 27 locations across the state, repping Michigan in a big way. Line locations are right in Metro Detroit. There's always one nearby. If you're in Grand Rapids, Madison Heights, or Milan, get ready. New stores are coming your way soon. Make sure you check out the Darren McCarty brand today. Jars, top shelf quality.
All right, back at it. Coming down the stretch here, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neil Rule and Darren McCarty, all of you in the Woodward Sports chat thread. Subscribe to the Woodward Sports YouTube channel. Get your thoughts out there like a lot of you do. Just wrapping up that Lions discussion. And, Joseph Glenn says it's as simple as yes, we will regress from 15-2. Also, too, and I lost it who said it, but it was a good point, said, I think the whole division will regress. And yes, I agree with that also because you're not playing the AFC South and the bum-ass Jaguars every week. Like now you're going in at AFC North and NFC East, right? Yeah. Price of bricks went up.
Yeah.
Like people forget that. They're like, NFC North's so great. Well, yeah, we played the Jags and the Titans every week.
Right.
So
That's pretty sweet.
It took 15 games to get the number 1 seed. It's crazy. That's rare.
Yeah, it's not going to happen this year. Well, the number 1 seed maybe, but not
the
division.
NFC.
Yeah.
I mean the North.
The North, the winner of the North probably have 12, 13 wins this year.
I can see it.
Tops.
Yeah.
Tops. 11 could win it.
11 could win it.
A la the Chiefs last year.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Lions won the division with 13. And then you had Vikings and Packers both at 11, and then the Bears at like 8 or 9.
Yeah.
Okay. Red Wings tonight, Edmonton, D-Mac. Here it is.
Yeah,
what we talked about, man.
It's a big road trip. I mean, if you want to know what's successful coming out of this road trip is 2-1.
Is Connor back?
Yeah,
yes.
He was back last game. He got
a
one.
goal.
No, I mean, you're getting everything served up to you, and this is what you want. And I think this is you're going out there with how you're playing. You're looking for this test. I mean, Battle of Alberta, whether you go Edmonton, Calgary, Vancouver, stuff like that, it's always a test. So you know you're going to get thrown at you right now. Stuart Skinner, Edmonton's goalie, he's one of the hottest goalies in the league right now. So, I mean, let's go do it. And I mean, I like it. So you made a lot of, the similarities to last night's game, Pistons, Indiana, about how you feel. And you can get this road trip started off to a good start. So hopefully they'll have the focus and look like the play like they did when they went down to Florida in the first game against the Panthers. So it won't be easy, but like you said yesterday, Neil, looking at the schedule, what are they, still 2 points out of a playoff spot?
Correct.
Can't make the playoffs this road trip, but you can put yourself behind the 8 ball, and that's what we're preventing right now. We want to sort of hold serve and be in this position as the teams around to start faltering.
And that's basically it. Like, for real, you survive in advance. You got to survive this road trip in advance. And that's why, because the Pistons started off that trip 2-0 and beat the Rockets, who are, beating everybody right now. And I wanted them to get one more.
Yeah.
And they didn't. But 2-3, if someone would have offered that before the road trip, I'd say, hell yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah.
2-3 on that trip, hell yeah, I'd take it. So the Red Wings are kind of in that same spot. No, and D-Mac, again, we'll circle back to it. I feel like this playoff thing is real again. Like I do. I feel that. I feel like
we're in the hunt.
In my plums.
In the hunt.
Yes.
In the
They're
hunt
in the
again,
mix.
but you don't feel See, I got more of the Pistons with the way that the landscape is.
Much
easier road. Right? But what you're feeling right now is we're in it again.
Yep.
Because they're giving you every night that they go out there, they're giving you the effort that you expect, that they showed you near the end of the season. I don't know how many people I've talked to, this year when we're talking about the end of the season, they bring up oh man, I was in the building at the end of the year last year against Montreal. It was so electric. That's what we got to get back to it.
Yep.
But it's got to start with the effort on the ice, right? And now I see it. So now tune in and everything you said about the Pistons, they deserve our attention right now until they don't. But I think that what you're feeling, Neil, is that this is legit, right? What are the 16 games under Todd McClellan, 11-4-1?
Yep.
You tell me about that, right? Because if I'm going to sit here at the beginning of the season and say, hey, let's wait till 20 games. Well, after this road trip and whatever would be close to the 20-game mark where you can say, okay, is this a legitimate of this team? And the big thing is, so here's the thing, is how are you going to have to get it done? The way that you've been doing it by getting more of that effort throughout the lineup, right? That's the only way it happens. Your catalysts will lead you, but I'm looking to see the Soderblooms and the second and third lines, the Kops, the guys that we've looked to expect, the Brinkets, to be themselves. So, great test tonight.
I think that we'll see what happens with the injury updates. I just got Max Boltman, shout out of The Athletic. He put out there that Kane will be with them on the Western Canada trip.
Which means he'll probably play at some point in the trip.
He'll probably play at some point, but Petrie will not. I haven't heard any update on Mott. Yeah, but you like to see these young guys get more active, like D-Mac said, Soderblom getting in there, Casper playing well, Johansson playing well. I'm excited to see what these guys do in Edmonton, because this is a team that was 10 seconds or an overtime period away from winning the Stanley Cup last year. So you're going into their house. McDavid's obviously pissed off with the league because he just got suspended. So he's going to come out there. You're going to have to contain him. But I think we've got some pieces that will be able to contain it. I don't want to say that because then he's going to go for fucking 4 points or something like that. But I'd like to see Edvinsson battling him. I'd like to see guys like Seider going out there and beat Edvinsson or Seider on the ice every second that McDavid's on the ice. So I'm excited to see. This is a revenge game for Tom McClellan too. Like this is a team that fired him. This is a team that he's like top 5 and wins.
Money on the board, boys.
Yeah.
Money on the board.
So
Coach has
I'm
got
excited.
money. No, coach has got money on the board.
Oh yeah.
We're just the same thing I explained it before when you play your former team. So this means a little bit more. And as a player with what you've built so far, yes, you take that into tonight's game.
Is tonight very micro, D-Mac, when you're playing someone like Connor McDavid and Louis and Draisaitl, where winning faceoff matters more, not taking penalties obviously matters more, like puck control,
Like when that,
especially when
that
they're
puck
out
comes
there.
around your wall, you have to make that next pass, or that puck has to get out. Has to get out of the zone. Right?
Has to.
100%. 100%. All the little things mean more, right? Getting in shot lanes, making it difficult, frustrating them. So that's a big thing. And I think that what we all notice, the game plans.
Yep.
The way that this team goes in knowing exactly to a man what they have to do is crystal clear under Todd McClellan. I think it was as foggy as hell under Derek Lalonde.
How can that be?
How?
Aura.
Message, aura.
He knows what he's doing.
Here's the vibe, and here's the one thing that I think Todd McClellan holds, which has helped him more than anything, is that he's coached in this league and hasn't been out of a job for a full season for 17 years.
It's wild,
which means the evolution. If I say Todd McClellan's one of the throwback old school coaches, right? Where accountability, stuff like that, but he treats you like a man. Expectations, nothing other.
You don't
than
have
what
to
you
wonder
want.
where you stand with him, right?
He'll let you know and what you're expected out of whatever, and hold you accountable to that. But he's also been around this game that has evolved, right, from my player into today's player more so. But he's been there every step of the way, so he knows how relationships, and he knows how to get that across to guys. And when you can be the parental figure where you are nice, but you don't have to be nice. You can be Tone and Dick and whatever like that. You got other guys for that. It's all part of the recipe, right? So it's I guess, Neil, the message is delivered.
One more thing about message
And received.
Delivered and received. That's the biggest.
Yeah.
One more question, D-Mac, before we cut to the final break. I heard a clip of Mo Seider talking, and I think it was on TV. And he mentioned the fact that we place a premium on shots in the first period. And that's the biggest difference that I've noticed with the Red Wings under McClellan versus before, is they come out 9, 10, 11, 12 shots in a first period of a game. How can you just change that like that? You know what I'm saying?
Because imperativeness, right? We're so... Obviously, if he comes out and says it, objective number 1 or objective number 2 are shots on net first period. I mean, it's sitting on the board.
Yeah.
You know, what are your objectives? Whether it's, you know, being physical.
How can it be that simple?
Because it is. What did Todd McClellan?
I knew that was the
What did
answer.
Todd McClellan come in and say?
Yep.
First fucking thing. Yo, play fucking hockey, boys.
Fucking hockey.
Right? So he's just, what he's done is he's simplified it. He's simplified it down and going, these guys, I mean, why are you teaching them algebra and calculus and stuff like this when all you got to do is have them add and subtract? The message is easier because he's made it simpler. How simple is that, Neil? Even you could comprehend that. Hey, objective number 1 is getting 10 or more shots on net. So you're throwing, right? Because it sets the pace and the tone and whatever like this. How many times did you see me come in here and go, like, there's 4 shots on net, but they've only attempted 5. So now you're going to see 10 or 12 shots, but they're attempting over 20, right? Can't score if you don't put the puck on the net.
Amen.
So
fair.
It really is sometimes that simple, but it takes that veteran and that leadership to come in and go, no, it's not. Like what Todd McClellan came in and he went, oh, you're not far off. What Stevie said is 100% right. This roster has the potential to be a wild card team or make the playoffs. I'll show you why. You just made it too complicated. Why you got them trying to speak foreign languages when, you know, they can't? Here, just throw the puck out there and simplify it for them. Because you know what it is too? They're having fun.
Yep. You can tell.
And the youth, right? And that's where Todd knows too from being around youth, from San Jose coming from the bottom, from Edmonton's, from LA, what he's done there. He knows what the bottom 6 guys, how important they are. So, right, which you see the Soderblums. I'm happy. I mean, it sucks guys are on the IR, but guys like Dominic Shine get an opportunity to show that they can be effective for your team in this league.
Huge locker room boost when he came in. Like, this was already a tight locker room. Those guys loved each other, but you really saw them all buy in. And like bringing up Shiner only helps that. Like, they're seeing them reward those guys that deserved it. And what does he do? He gets in there and he fucking levels somebody on the boards. Like, it's awesome.
Dude, that's the way he's gonna be. Yeah. Right? Like, and that's attitude. It doesn't matter who it is. And that's the mentality you have to have. That's why Edmonton improved. They added a guy like Corey Perry in the bottom 6. That's you know, sandpaper to whatever what you want to say about him, MILF banger. But I mean, you know what I'm saying? Whatever you want to say. But the kid finds a way to the finals. But he's that sandpaper that you need.
All right, let's take the last break. We got a couple of Ask D-Max out of the blue, so we'll get to those and more. Planet Fitness Studios, everybody. Planet Fitness, the best gym in the gym game. They just are. If you're looking to join a gym, I'm telling you guys, Planet Fitness, you won't regret it. $24.99 a month for the Black Card. You get use of all the Planet Fitness spa items, the hydro massage, all of it. Clean facilities, clean locker rooms, clean showers. You can take a shower, go on about your day. It becomes a part of your daily life, everybody. The next thing you know, you're accomplishing every fitness goal you had in your life. It is that simple, guys. I mean, you got to go do the work, obviously, but Planet Fitness is the vehicle to do it. Go to planetfitness.com or just pull in the parking lot. You pass a couple on the way home. Don't pay more money to lift the same weight. Some of you are paying $80 or $90 a month for a gym membership to lift weights that weigh the same. I'll never understand it. planetfitness.com. Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Attention sports fans, don't miss out on expert sports injury insights with Dr. Jeff Pierce of the Michigan Sports and Spine. Join Dr. Pierce every Tuesday during Big D Energy. Yeah, right here. And Thursdays during Ermanni and Edwards, where he offers top-notch injury advice. That'll be today, somewhere between 2 and 4 p.m. Trust the guy I trust for 4. Yes, 4 Stanley Cup trophies. That's big, shiny trophies like this one right here. Dr. Pierce is here. Keep you in the game. Forming out your best. For more information, visit MichiganSportsandSpine.com or call 248-426-9944.
Final segment of the show, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neil Rule, Darren McCarty, all of you in the Woodward Sports chat thread. We got a couple of Ask D-Mac. Let's tend to those. Steve-O, baby, Ask D-Mac. What was Scotty Bowman like in the locker room back in the day when he didn't like what he saw on the ice?
See, Scotty was more, what do you call those people? Like, he wouldn't yell.
He was more of a psychiatrist about it?
He was more psychological. Like, if anybody was going to yell or come in and do something, it would be Barry Smith or Louis would say something. But he was like, the psychology was backdoor psychology. So a lot of times if you want to get a message across to me or something like that, then he would, like, yell at Drapes. Actually, that never went on. When he wanted to get a message at Drapes, he'd yell at me.
Yeah.
Or he'd yell at Maltz or do stuff like that, or to get a message across to Shanny. That's when he'd yell at me or something like that. He did it, like, psychologically. He just, the bottom point, and I think what you're finding with Todd McClellan in the Scotty Bowman-ish is knowing each player and what makes them tick. Mm-hmm. So, you know, it's sort of like certain guys you could call out, say, be better. That's garbage. It's horseshit. Because it'd be like, yeah, I know. Okay. You know, stuff like this. Other guys who would be talking to their line mate, you know, hey, we need a little more.
A Woodward Sports chat thread, I Harder says, hey, D-Mac, what are your thoughts on the Elias Peterson, JT Miller situation? Seems crazy that it's that bad between your 1 and 2 Cs that you got to blow your team up.
Dude, I mean,
give the background to it at least.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know other than, like, what's, like, as it's getting more traction. So I'll look into it. I'll report back next week. But it looks like there is definitely something going on there. And Rick Tocchet being the coach, you know, I would have thought a lot of times there's ways to rectify this, but I would expect if anything happens, they're going to move Peterson. But let me look into it more, and I'll get back to you next week. But yeah, you got that going for you. You got to take advantage of that when you play them.
Yes. DNC, ENT, and Chase just brought this to our attention. Well-crossed Terry Rozier off my list of trade deadline acquisitions. Shams bomb.
He got traded?
No.
No, he was recently federally here, I'll pull it back up. So, federal prosecutors have been investigating whether Terry Rozier manipulated his performance in 2023 as part of an illegal sports betting scheme.
Damn.
Per the Wall Street Journal.
And they found out he was?
Well, that's
being
investigating it. So. And you know how they just investigate stuff for no reason?
Price never been cheaper.
I mean, hey. Woodward Sports chat thread, Mike, hey, Neil, my bourbon bottles have been winking at me all month. Yeah, they'll do that sometimes to you. They're like that. D-Mac, you're out tomorrow. What do you got going on this weekend?
Hey, anybody wants to see some alumni hockey downtown, Clark Park outside?
That's always a big one.
All weekend. I know they get the winter blast, but 4:30, so UAW, we're taking that on Saturday.
Oh, damn.
Saturday evening, stuff like that, so we'll be out there.
I'm going. My boy's having a show on Saturday. It's part of a band called the Starlings.
Yeah?
They're going to be playing in... I can't remember where. Inkster, I think? I'm not sure.
But you'll be there.
I'll be there.
There it is. You want to go have drinks with Spenny? Go on out.
Yeah, I'll let you know tomorrow.
Hey, real quick, Royal Rumble this weekend. You got anybody you be watching? You'll be watching, Kenny?
Oh, yeah. You know
Royal
that.
Rumble?
Yeah.
You any interest in it? Who wins? Cena coming back?
Yeah, Cena is coming back.
It's going to be electric.
He ain't winning, though. We know that.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah,
I think CM Punk's winning.
Yeah. They're going to give Cena that struggle storyline, but I got Roman Reigns, the OTC, winning the Royal Rumble. So.
All right, we'll see. I'm always here for the surprises.
Oh, yeah.
All right, that'll do it, everybody. For Darren McCarty, for KG, Spencer Raxter, Chase, I'm Neil Rule. Thanks for tapping in. Big D. Nickel Package Friday tomorrow, by the way. Bourbon Friday as well. Myself and Sean Bleacher. Well, see you later.